Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for this call all about water and your wellness, starting with water. I'm Robin, and today I am doing this presentation with my dear friend Angela.
Hello, hello. Glad you're all here.
So I thought we would do a little introduction on just sharing a little bit about ourselves and what brought us into the world of water. For myself, this has been a journey that I've been on for many years that has been like layers. And each time I dive deeper and deeper into the world of water. So recently, I've really taken a deep dive into looking at not only the filtration of our water for drinking, but also our filtration and like the bath water, and even something I never thought of, but like the water that we're using to wash our clothes, the water that we're using to wash our dishes. And so water has really fascinated me for many different reasons that Anj and I will bring you on this journey as we are going through water, the different like really sciencey stuff, but I'm going to make it fun of diving into why water is so important, and not just from what we learned in school. Oh, you need to just drink water and you'll, be healthy. But we're going to talk to you about why having clean filtered water is so important, and also the next level of enhancing your water and how that can truly help you to achieve hydration that your body may not have ever experienced yet before. I am a passionate mama who is here to help share these healing technologies with others, and I'm excited to be jumping into this water world with you all.
Thanks, Robin. I have also been on this water journey for a while. I will say that when my middle son was 4, he got Lyme's, and the first thing the functional medicine doctor said was, check the water he's drinking, because, anything that could feed off, that could make the body have to work harder, you want to eliminate. So at that time, we went with a Berkey water filtration system that I still have. But in the past couple of years, I don't know. I'm like, are you the best option? So it kind of led me, and then Robin and I igniting this conversation of water to really start to look at what's out there on the market, what water systems are on the market, and getting clear that there are twofold to the importance of water. As Robin said, one is the filtration, having clean water, but then two, diving into hydration.
Amazing. So, what's really in the water that we're consuming? Hopefully, your water doesn't look like this, though.
I was going to say, this water is so gross.
Right? So, this picture here is horrendous, but this is what most of our municipal city pipes that lead the water into your home look like. On top of the stuff that is in our water, our infrastructure is really failing us here. So we're battling not only the failing infrastructure of these pipes, we're also battling all these horrible things that are put into our water. Some of them are purposely put in, like fluoride and chlorine, to treat the water. But a lot of these other things we don't think about. We don't think about that many people, because they don't know better, are dumping all kinds of things down their toilet, down their sink, including pharmaceuticals that are then getting into your water. And so a lot of us are getting literally medications into our system that we have no idea about because they're not taken out. Your city water municipal place is filtering. A lot of this stuff has gotten worse and worse and worse over the years because we unfortunately live in a really toxic time. And so we really start to have to take radical responsibility for our family's wellness, because it isn't really the responsibility of anybody but us.
So there's this really fun thing that you can do, to type in your zip code and to see how many contaminants are in your water. So we're going to all do this together. Even Robin and I, we're just going to type in this website, ewg.org/tapwater.
So for those of you who are not here live with us, still pause and look this up, because this is going to blow your mind. Some people, if you've not peeled this layer back about water filtration, some of us were led to believe that the city, our government, is making sure our water is safe, and they're not.
Yeah.
At least not to the standard that you would expect.
I have mine pulled up, and it says that the data is available from 2014 to 2019. So that's not even fully up to par, as far as new, but it says that there are 13 chemicals that exceed the EWG health guidelines and that there are 28 total contaminants in my water. And it says here on this document, legal does not necessarily equal safe. Getting a passing grade from the federal government does not mean the water meets the latest health guidelines. Legal limits for contaminants in tap water have not been updated in almost 20 years.
So the type of water that you drink is really the wealth of your body, because our body is made up of so much water that it's very important that the water we are putting into our body is clean, is filtered in, even on a higher level, is activated and enhanced for further hydration. So you can press pause on this video, or you can read all of these different things. We really just wanted to point out here that some people who, maybe they've already peeled this layer back and they already have a type of filtration. They're using distilled water or reverse osmosis, or they're using something like a Brita filter in their refrigerator, or even just your refrigerator filter. And then some are using rainwater or spring water or bottled water. And we want to point out why all of these have faults to them, why all of them aren't exactly getting the cleanest, purest water that you could for your family. And one that really blew my mind was the spring water, because this is something that was really amazing to me, because spring water, in my mind, was the highest form of clean water. But because the world we live in, because of all of the runoff from agriculture and the spraying of glyphosate, the overuse of antibiotics in animals, all of this is going into our water system, but not just in the water system, into the planet. And Mother Earth is who creates spring water. And so even your beautiful spring water, while still having many benefits to it, can be contaminated with a lot of this stuff that is negating the beautiful power of that spring water. And then as Anj and I were diving into this world, we also realized that a lot of the water bottle companies that even say they're using spring water, their water is tainted as well. Because just this world that we're living in with so many toxins, it's getting into everything. It's almost impossible to avoid.
Yeah, and just one note of the bottled water is, think of how many people consume it, right? And so there's not space. And I've seen several videos where they have these huge, big blocks of bottled water that are sitting out in open areas. So if the sun is beaming down on them, then the sun is warming the water. Everything in the plastic is leaching into the water. So it's, there's things that we just don't always think about that are happening, the process of the water. We think, oh, it says spring water and it must be pure and it must be clean, but really thinking about the process of getting it to us as well is important. So on that note of talking about the bottled water, some people do believe that is the best option. And so the average American spends $5 a day on bottled water. And if you look through the numbers, I'm not going to read through every single thing to you, but these are the price. $5 a day is for one person. So then if you look at your family, assuming there's two or more, you can go through and see that actually it can be very pricey to buy bottled water. It seems cheap when you're buying it one at a time, but that builds over a period of time.
Right. And you don't even know if that bottled water is actually filtered and clean, because there's something about like 70% of bottled water companies are literally just using tap water. So that's a very expensive goof to make, right?
Yeah. You can see on the bottom here, it says, let's compare some different size bottles. One 20-ounce plastic bottle of water is 69 times more expensive per gallon than one multi-pure Aqua Perform filter.
Amazing.
This is the filtration water system that Robin and I are going to speak to. That is called Multi-Pure, and the Aqua Perform is the one for your home. I just wanted to point on the other side, if you're buying case of water, because if like, oh, I don't buy it at one, I buy it at a discount with case bottled water. A case of 8-ounce bottled water is 37 times more expensive per gallon than a Multi-Pure Aqua Perform filter. So it's just amazing.
It's insane. And one thing that's really wonderful about Multi-Pure, which is the filtration company that Anj and I want to introduce you guys to, is that they have different levels of filtration, all the way from a travel filter that still filters an enormous amount of garbage out of your water all the way to their highest level of filtration, which filters out everything, including viruses and bacteria. So as Anj has mentioned, the plastics from these different water bottles are, we now know, getting into our human body, not just because we're ingesting them and then they come back out of us, they're getting into us on this cellular level. That's not meant to be there in our bodies. And so actually in America, there is a new ordinance in place that the school districts have to figure out filtration for the schools, because they have to get the plastics and the PFAs out of the children's water at school, because it's known that this is causing so much of a health threat.
Yeah, it really is. It's overwhelming, to know. And it's really important. We know that water sustains us. And as I was looking at that picture that you had with the nanoplastics, like our body is like an internal ocean because we are majority water. And so if we think about these things coming in, I saw this terrible in the sense, like I couldn't believe it, but there was a video of a company that takes, before they put their drink into the bottle, the plastic bottle, they actually spritz hot water in it to make it, and they pour it out and then they put their drink in it. We know that it's leaching stuff into it. Or it was a Gatorade bottle. And I was thinking to my children who love to play sports, like, please don't drink this. Please, like, I will buy you a hydration, something that has a sweet taste to it, but please do not buy this bottle. Where Robin was saying, like, there are so many threats, and it is becoming very known that all of these toxins are impacting our children. PFASs, or forever chemicals, are present in everything. Think about how we cook, the things that we use with cooking, and they're really damaging our bodies. It says here, a study shows that much of our groundwater exceeds safe PFA levels, highlighting a growing health and environmental risk that calls for stricter monitoring and regulation. We know that this is coming into place, but we still get to jump ahead and do the work ourselves rather than waiting for things to get approved, with the government. I'm just saying, like, once you have the knowledge, let's just dive in and take action. So, did you know that approximately 200 million metric tons of plastic ends up in our oceans? And I love this picture just showing the enormity of that plastic water bottle, because for some animals, this is what their world looks like. When plastics break down, they release toxic chemicals. So, even if you're like, oh, we're not even talking about the food that we're eating, the fish, octopus, whatever foods that people eat, it's getting into our animals in the water. It's getting into the animals who feed, like cows and stuff, on land, and it's really threatening our health. The impact extends beyond wildlife. It's affecting coastal economies, it's damaging our coastal reefs, and it's really polluting our beaches. So we really have to take urgent action and do our part to curb this plastic pandemic, to stop using it. One person's impact can go a long way. And as this shows, look at this happy turtle in a clean body of water. The choice that we make today can help change that.
Super impactful. So Anj and I want to show you a chlorine test, and we're going to utilize one of our mentors in the water world of multi-pure water. And we're going to watch her doing this chlorine test with the multi-pure.
All right, we're going to do a little experiment. We've been learning about chlorine in tap water and how it absorbs, how it absorbs through our skin, because the skin is our largest organ. And we are curious to see how long does it take for our skin to absorb the chlorine. So we have these drops here that will make the water turn yellow if there's chlorine present. And we're going to see if sticking our hand in the water absorbs the chlorine out. So this is tap water from Warren, Pennsylvania. So we're going to do one and see the chlorine. That's a lot of drops. So you'll see it turn yellow. See it already turned yellow. We're going to put seven drops in each one, just so that they're all the same color. For 5 seconds. So you're going to stick your hand in it, and we're just going to count to 5. Ready? Up go, all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take it out. Shake it off. We'll do the same amount of drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so let's see if this turns yellow. Oh my gosh. We thought it was going to take way longer than that.
So as you can see, even something just as simple as chlorine in the water, which is in everybody's water because they use it in water treatment. And many of us can like smell this. When we go into our bathrooms, especially if you have a smaller bathroom where you're enclosed, like the door is closed, you're in a small space, you can absolutely smell the chlorine coming out of your shower, out of your bath. And what's really scary is that what mixes with heat, it creates a noxious gas that is actually very toxic for human beings. But most of us are showering in water that is got chlorine because we're here talking about water filtration for drinking. But we also, Anj and I are here to talk about how water being filtered at every level is really important because we often don't think about, what our water mentor, Cassandra, and her son just showed us is that we're not just taking water in through our mouths. Like, especially if you've got young children, they're taking baths all the time.
If you're ready to discover how these amazing water devices would work in your home, then you can reach out to Robin and I. We are new to this and we're being very transparent. We have found these companies. We have done the research, Robin in particular, because this is her genius and her magic, and really found the best companies. And I am really excited that they've been around for a long time. It means that they have quality products that have impacted many people and that people keep sharing them and coming back to them. And it's just really important in this day and age when there are so many toxins out in the world. Think about it. Everything starts from water. Every life began in water. So let's go back to nourishing our bodies that are the majority of our body is water. Let's go back to nourishing it with clean water and hydrating water so that we can be the brightest, most authentic and healthy versions of ourselves.
Amazing. Thank you, Anj, and thank you for everyone who's here with us and for those who watch the recording.
And thank you, Robin, for sharing all of these slides and bringing it together for everyone so that we can really excite you guys with us, because there's a lot to learn, but it's also really exciting when it comes to making sure that you're taking care of yourself and your loved ones. So thank you for joining us, and please stay in touch and come along the journey with us. We'd love to have you.